Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another good, clean read, and I hope that you are ready for an adventure because, man, that was not the adventure I was expecting. Today, I will be reviewing Ever the Hunted by Aaron Summerhill, and it's Summerrill. And it's kind of hard. Well, I guess you can kind of see it. It's a little hard. It's kind of shiny. So I'm gonna, instead of like holding it up, because you obviously can't see very much, but I'm just gonna put a picture of it right over here. But basically, Ever the Hunted is a fantasy novel. It has like magic, and it was interesting. It was an interesting read. The book is about this girl named Britta, whose father has trained her in the forest her whole life, since everyone in her kingdom totally hates her because she's half the other kingdom. And they suspect that she might have magical powers and be a witch or a channery. I think that's what they're called. A channeler. Channelers. Channelers are basically like witches. They can only be women, and they have certain magic that's either air, water, fire, earth, or spirit. And so everyone is afraid of them in the kingdom that she lives in. And so they don't like her because they think her mom was one. And in her country, they like hunt them down and hang them, just like, Salem witch trials. But she is, really, she gets really sad because when the book opens up, her father was killed, and she's been mourning for 3 months and trying to survive, and she knows that because her father is dead, she is going to get kicked out of her house because she's a woman. She cannot inherit the land. So she's like, well, what am I going to do for the winter? I'm going to die if I get kicked out and don't have a place to stay. And so she goes and hunts something and poaches and gets caught and carry her to the High Lord Jameis. And High Lord Jameis, he's like the right-hand man to the king. And he's like, your father was murdered, and he was one of my really good friends. And so, because you poached, I'll make you a deal. I'll trade your life for the life of the murderer, who happens to be the man that you're still in love with, even though he broke your heart and left you all alone for a year and a half. And she's like, what? Well, I mean, obviously that would be pretty shocking, especially if you're like brokenhearted and the only man that you love happens to be the person that kills your father. It would be very traumatizing. But she's like, she doesn't want to believe it, but she doesn't go find him. She dies, and then she's like, well, I'm gonna die anyway, and he's like, fine, you can keep your house if you find him. She's like, okay. So she goes with some guards. One of them is Leif, and he's the best character in this whole book, and he's only in it for like so short of time. It's so annoying. So annoying. He's the best character ever. And they go and search for Cohen, who's her love interest, who supposedly murdered her father, and they go on this little chase, and then she doesn't know if she can trust him, if she finds him, whatever, but like the whole entire time it's just like, oh, I don't know what to do, like, I love him, but he broke my heart and he murdered my father. Okay. I did not connect with Britta at all. I didn't think that she had a good character voice. I mean, it was very much like her own voice. I just didn't like it. She was like really like tomboy, I don't like girl things kind of thing, and like kind of snotty about it. The way that she made it sound, she was just like, ugh, this dress is so stuffy. Like whenever she had to wear a dress, she'd complain. Whenever she would have to do her hair, she'd complain. She complained a lot. A lot. If there's one thing that Britta Flannery is, she's a complainer, for sure. Or like a creepy weirdo that's obsessed with the way Cohen smells. Because, man, if I could give you every page she talks about how he smells, I think it would be at least half of this book. About half this book is, no joke, her talking about how attracted she is to Cohen and how good he smells. Despite the fact that they are riding through the mountains, not bathing for several days. I don't care how attractive you are or you think that he is. You and or him is gonna stink. Like, it doesn't matter how attractive a person is, they smell if they don't take a shower. Doesn't matter if you like their natural musk. They still stink. It's just kind of creepy, honestly. How often she talks about his smells or like how he glistens or it's so, oh no. There's so many times when I'm just like, ugh. And then just the sappiness though. The sappiness in this book is overwhelming. Like, it tries so hard to be cute. It tries so hard to be cute. And in the end, it just comes out as, like, really creepy. I did not like her and Cohen together at all. I thought they were weird. They had a weird relationship. I don't know. It was weird. I didn't really like Cohen either. I didn't really like Britta with anyone because I didn't like Britta. But there is a character who I mentioned earlier that I do like in this book. And that's Leif. Leif is the best. I know I already talked about him, but he's the best part of this book, which is really sad because he's like the only character that I actually liked. He is so great, and he does not get enough credit where credit is due. So Leif, my man, you're freaking awesome, dude, and I appreciate you. Thank you for making the pages that you were on bearable to read in this book. Yeah. Anyway, pros, he was definitely number one pro. Other pro, the cover's pretty cute. Don't know if you could see it. The cover's cute. It's very beautiful. The magic was interesting, even though we didn't really get explained anything. Just like how it feels to like use it, but we didn't really get to hear where it came from or why only people from that certain country, Shadowrun, have it. We don't really know very much about it at all. Oh my goodness, this book was so predictable. It was so predictable. If only it wasn't. Because it had such an interesting premise. I'm so sad. It was too predictable. It was fine. It's fine. Things you might not like. There is hunting in this book, so there is gore and killing of animals. If you don't like that, you might not like those parts, but it's not like too terrible. It's not terrible. There is also they sleep in the same bed, and that's all they do. They just sleep, but she makes it awkward by talking about how he smells, and one of the guards does threaten to rape her several times, which was not okay. And at one point, I was seriously really nervous that it was actually going to be in this book. So luckily, no, just threats. But I still didn't like to read that. So pages to skip if you are a little sensitive. You don't have to skip these. Just if they bother you. Pages 145, 162, 164, and 225 would be the pages that you might just want to skip and not read because they're just awkward. Anyway, those were my thoughts on Ever the Hunted by Erin Summerall. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. I know you hear that all the time, but you like good, clean reads, this is a good place to find them. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back next Saturday with another video. Have a great week.